Deep Rock Galactic's achievement, Karl would be proud, requires you to complete a hazard level 5 mission from start to finish without any resupply, without any dwarf going down. Here is a video explaining roughly how to achieve that. Now, as you can see through this clip here, I'm selecting a quick and easy Morkite mission, setting it to hazard level 5, and re-rolling the bar until I've got this dark Morkite drink. That just allows me to get more Morkite for every piece that I collect. I've picked the Engineer Dwarf for this achievement. I've done that because due to the limited ammo we're going to have on here, not being able to resupply is one of the achievement criterias. We're going to actually use the sentry guns to do at least half of our fighting. So right off the bat, I'm searching the room, trying to find any Morkite that may be in here, and the first dirt wall to get me out of here and to get to the next piece of Morkite, or the next Morkite deposit, as quickly as possible. So we're going to destroy this wall, get through, and you can see I'm going to put some platforms down here. That's just so when I'm leaving the mission, I can get back out of that little hole I've created as quickly as possible, and there'll be no issues with the grunts chasing me. You'll see near the end of the clip that I actually get hit by something and it stuns me. If I didn't have those platforms down at the time, it could have been a bit of an issue. I could have been swarmed, and that could be the end of my life, end of the mission. So we're going to be running straight past all Nitra. We don't need it. We're not resupplying, so it's just wasting our time. We do not want to be wasting any time, as you will get more swarms and more enemies the longer you're here. The more things you have to fight, the more ammo you run out of, the quicker you run out of it even. You want to make sure you're running the break free perk. I can't remember the exact name of it. It just allows you to get out of any sticky situation where a leech grabs you, like here. You can see I can just get straight out of it, not wasting any time. There's no potential of me dying and getting swarmed. We're going straight into the next Morkite deposit, and you can actually utilize Bosco to do most of your digging while you're searching for the next Morkite deposit or your next dirt wall to get into the next area. Just anything to utilize your time as best as possible. Like I said, you really don't want to be spending too much time on here. You can see we're getting our first swarm. It's only a small one. The breach cutter is probably the best weapon to be using while on the engineer for this particular mission if you're running solo, just because, as you can see, you can completely cut through swarms. You can utilize your health as a resource on this mission, but it's best to not take any damage. You don't want to risk going down. I use my shield most of the time to just tank a few hits to save ammo, run in with the pickaxe, do a power hit, or just pick off a lone grunt. So using platforms to just have a way of getting around as quickly as possible, and you can see that we are just not caring about any resources that are coming up. Nothing is a concern other than completing this mission just as quickly as possible and as easy as possible. So through the next dirt room, again, we're just going to run through, throwing flares everywhere, ignoring the battery. There'll be another battery further down, and I'll actually see the case where we can put them in to get our reward. Again, we're just going to ignore it. We don't care. We just want to complete the achievement as quickly as possible. Now, these particular rooms here can be life or death. If you get caught out here and you have a swarm from one side and the other at the same time, you're more or less dead. There's no escape. So you see I set up my sentry turrets and they just cover me while I'm mining this Morkite. Anything that's going to attack me, they're going to be picking up first. I'm going to hear them attacking, and I know that there's enemies there. Except this Praetorian that somehow managed to get the jump on me. So I'm here just deciding how I want to attack it. Again, ammo very limited, don't waste it. So I think here we get our first swarm. Yeah, our first swarm just about to come up. So like I said, being stuck in one of these rooms is a terrible idea if you're coming up to a swarm. So I decide to push down into a room that just has a little bit more space, a little bit more open, and I can see both ways where I'm going to get attacked from. So the room I'm going to come up into just a sec, I believe to be one of the better rooms for defending swarms with an engineer. It's very open. You can see both directions. I mean, it's quite narrow, so you can't really get many grunts or any of the glyphids that are going to be on the roof. Most of them are going to be on the walls or on the floor. And I'm just going to set up a sentry gun pointing each direction and throw a couple of the proximity bombs or mines down to help blow up the larger clumps of Glyphids and soften the Praetorians, or if it does happen, an oppressor comes, it can just help to blow up some of that armor, and I can utilise that crit spot as you just saw there. Now, Glyphid Wardens can be the end of your run, with the fact that they can buff the Glyphid's damage resistance. If it procs on Praetorians like it was doing in the clip just there, it could make your Praetorian twice as hard to kill, and that could be the difference between you killing it or it killing you. So take them out as quickly as possible and then focus on everything else. It should be realistically priority number one most of the time. Also, don't let your sentry guns run out of ammo like I did here. It could cost you the run. Once you see or feel the waves start to die down a little bit, you can potentially be a bit more risky. You can push further on into your cave to find more Morkite, or you could just play it safe like I chose to do here. There's no time limit to the achievement. You can take 45 minutes doing it, or you can take 5 minutes doing it. It doesn't matter. As long as it's completed and you don't die or call in a resupply, you'll get the achievement. One thing to note if you are playing the engineer is if you leave your sentry guns and go elsewhere, make sure you recall them like I did there. What you don't want is to be in a situation where you need to place down your sentry guns to help you and they are 200 meters away and you've got to wait for them to fly to you. So you can see here my Morkite is about 150 and I've just seen the last piece here. So I've made a platform to get across. There's no point fighting whatever that was down in the little hole. So just lighting up the room, making sure there's nothing around me, nothing's going to get the jump, and I'm waiting for Molly to come over to me. Once she gets to me, I'm going to fill up what I have of my Morkite into her, get what the rest of what I need, call the drop pod, and then run off. So you can see here is the platforms I placed down. I mean, I messed it up, I can't jump, but if you're a better player, you could be a little bit quicker, and that hit that I got there, where it stunned me, probably could have avoided that if I was just a little bit quicker when it came to jumping over those platforms. And now I'm going to utilise these sentry guns once more, just to help me defend, because we're right at the end of the mission. The last thing we want to do now is get downed and die, just as we're so close to completing it. So both sentry guns go down, the rest of my proximity mines, and I'm as close to the gate as I can possibly be without endangering myself. So the second Molly gets in and she's brought up by the magnet, I can just get straight in that gate and be done with it. I'm not 20-30 meters away from the drop pod and all of a sudden 2 Praetorians rock up and I have to fight my way through. Just like here. So Molly is being brought up by the drop pod. Mission control's telling me that there's only 3 minutes left, but we don't care about that. So straight in, we're done, we're finished, that's the end of it. There's no beating around the bush, there's no waiting, we're straight into the drop pod. And because we ignored all gold and all nitra, we're not going to get much experience, we're not going to get much money. The whole point is just to complete the mission as quickly as possible and be done with it. It should take, realistically, about 10-15 minutes if you play it reasonably safe. As you can see, very little experience, very little gold. But the goal is completed. Now here you're going to see the equipment I used and the overclocks and gear modifications I decided. My personal preference is the shotgun and the breach cutter, but this is all, again, down to personal preference. You can use whatever you want. Now if you did enjoy this video, I'm going to be posting more Deep Rock Galactic achievement videos, so feel free to subscribe, comment if you wish, leave a like, it's all very much appreciated. I hope this video helps you to get your achievement, and if you have any questions, please do let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.